which should prove that we are living in some alternate reality, parallel universe. The Financial Times named George Soros Person of the Year, standard bearer of liberal democracy. The London-based international daily newspaper praised Soros for his steadfast activism and liberal vision of the world, despite being targeted daily by anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and right-wing attacks. I'm blamed for everything, including being the Antichrist, he's told these people. I wish I didn't have so many enemies, but I take it as an indication I must be doing something right. Mr. Soros, a major Democratic donor who survived Nazi-occupied Hungary as a teenager, was the first of more than a dozen high-profile Democrats who were sent pipe-bombed by the Trump-supporting Florida man in October. If you stick with me, I'm going to show you an interview by George Soros where he was confirmed that he was a Nazi collaborator in Hungary during the occupation and shows no remorse about it. He says, I've been painted as the devil. The fact that extremists are motivated by false conspiracy theories. So when you see the video coming up, just don't believe your own eyes. Believe what these idiots are saying. Now get this joke. The Financial Times Choice Person of the Year usually a reflection of their achievement. In the case of Mr. Soros this year, his selection is also about the values he represents. He's a standard bearer of liberal democracy and open society. These are the ideas which triumphed in the Cold War. Today are under siege from all sides, from Vladimir Putin's Russia to Donald Trump's America. For more than 3 decades, Mr. Soros has used philanthropy to battle against authoritarianism, blah, blah, racism, and intolerance. Well, let's dive into the mind of this saint.
In the last 2 years, you've been blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Are you that powerful?
No, I think there's a great misunderstanding. I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do. As a competitor, I've got to compete to win. As a human being, I am concerned about the society in which I live.
Which George Soros am I talking to now? The amoral George Soros or the moral George Soros?
It's one person. It's one person who at one time engages in amoral activities and at the rest of the time tries to be moral.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian.
Right.
And you watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right. I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events, and one is threatened. It was a tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection, but it created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
For example, that I'm Jewish, and here I am watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that.
Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. But there was no sense that I shouldn't be there, because that was, well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. In other words, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse.